Hello, colors. Welcome back to Viva Barca, and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to discuss on some interesting updates. We start with Frankie de Jong as the injured Barcelona midfield superstar will return to training next week. We are going to discuss more on that as we move ahead. Secondly, talking about this report claiming that Barcelona will bring in 5 million euros from the friendly game versus Club America in Dallas next month. We are also going to be discussing more on that. So as we get right into it, please do ensure to subscribe. If you're just coming across the channel for the very first time, you are very much welcome. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Over the past couple of months, FC Barcelona have had to deal with a number of injury problems to key players that have affected their performances on the field. Before the international break, though, the Blaugrana recovered most of the players out on the sidelines, with Frankie de Jong and Sergio Roberto being the only two still on the list of casualties. Now, though, Mundo Deportivo is reporting that Barcelona could be poised to welcome Frankie de Jong back in training next week. The 26-year-old midfield mainstay has been out on the sidelines since late September when he picked up an ankle injury during the game against Celta Vigo. Barca and de Jong contemplated the possibility of his return ahead of the first El Clasico of the season towards the end of the last month. But there was still some lingering discomfort, and the club opted to not take any risk. But all signs point towards the Netherlands international rejoining training next week. Xavi held a training session on Thursday, during which de Jong was not involved. The manager has given the players a 3-day off, and when the sessions resume next week, the Dutchman is also expected to be back. If it happens, de Jong could be in line to make his much-awaited return on the field when Barcelona face Rayo Vallecano in their first game after the break. Xavi had already insisted in the press conference ahead of the Alaves game that the midfielder could return after the international break. He said, Frankie will be back against Rayo. De Jong's absence has hurt Barcelona on the pitch, and the hope is that his return will help the team improve on their recent performances and close down the gap to the top of the table. Of course, it is no question that Frankie de Jong has been a big miss for us. We haven't been able to take total control of that midfield. Frankie de Jong's presence, his absence have been much felt, if you ask me. And I definitely think that if Frankie de Jong was present all through this while, there are certain games that our performance could have been better, honestly. Maybe against even the Shakhtar Donetsk, we couldn't have lost the game the way we did. Poor performance and losing the game. And against Real Madrid, who knows? If he was there controlling that midfield, I believe that we might still have even pick up a point or so. But it is what it is. But we just hope that he comes back stronger. And of course, he'll be expected to play against Rayo, according to what Xavi have said in his recent press conference. Even though he hasn't started training, but this report claims that he will return likely to training by next week. By next week, he will return to training, and of course, that will come as a huge boost for us. I think Frankie de Jong has been a big miss. There's no doubt about that. We have Pedri who has already returned, but Pedri has not been really sharp at all. Maybe because he has been so long out injured, but I think if we see the best version of the Pedri and Frankie de Jong coming back, we are going to dominate midfield, and we are going to dominate games likely. So let's see how it goes. Frankie de Jong has been out for such a long time, of course, more than 2 months. Of course, against I think against Celta Vigo, the comeback win when we won 3 goals to 2. When Frankie de Jong picked up that serious injury, So it has been a very long time. We have been missing him, and coming back will be good. Of course, Barcelona will continue training. Of course, the players who did not go for international duty have been training with Xavi earlier this week, and they will continue doing so by next week. And according to this report, we are going to likely see Frankie de Jong joining them, which will become a huge relief for not just Xavi and his coaching staff, but for all the coolers around the world, as we have missed the Dutchman quite a lot. He has been so instrumental this season, like how he has been last season, one of the best players for Barca, silently doing his job. And for those who know about football tactics, realize that Frankie de Jong's presence is very important to this Barcelona setup, for them to dominate games and for them to, you know, to do things well and play well. And I think coming back, Frankie de Jong would be as important as he has always been for us. So let's just keep fingers crossed and hope that he futures against the next game after the international break, which will be against Rayo Vallecano. Then on to the final story of discussion. It has been speculated for quite some time now that Barcelona will be arranging a friendly match next month in order to generate some revenue in the lead up to the January transfer window. Even though some details about the friendly had emerged in the media, nothing was set in stone, as reports suggested that Barca were yet to fully decide whether to play the match in the USA or the Middle East. However, as per the latest update from Fernando Polo of Mundo Deportivo, Barcelona will be facing Mexican outfit Club America in the friendly encounter, which will take place on December 21st in Dallas, USA. In exchange for the match, the Blaugrana are expected to generate a sum of 5 million euros, which is not significant considering their financial situation. The club's commercial department has been busy with the negotiations for this match, which will take place after the last league fixture before Christmas break. Barca are due to play Almeria in a midweek fixture. It should be on 19 December, according to their request to La Liga, who must validate these dates. The idea is that after facing off against Almeria, they will travel to Dallas to play this exhibition match against Club America. It is no secret that Barcelona are once again in a tricky situation when it comes to financial fair play situation. And in order to sign and or register any players in January, they need to generate fresh revenue. Much will hinge on whether Barca received the 40 million euro payment owed by Libero in time or not. However, any additional income like the 5 million euros that will end up in the coffers thanks to this friendly against Club America will be very much welcome at the Catalan club. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.